Okay, so this is going to be the Christmas special for this channel. This is going to be going over all the stuff I got, and this is not like to be a brag video, like to show off, but more to be like, this is all the stuff that's going to get reviewed in the future. So, and also I would love to know what you all got. I hope you all got everything you wanted as well, and I got everything I wanted and then some. So I can't wait to show you all this, and all this will be reviewed in the future. And I will say these two figures, well, specifically one, the Andrew Sarkis, I mentioned this is going to be the next individual figure review. I planned on that video coming out a few days ago, but it just didn't. That video will be the first individual figure review. So although all these figures are new, that Andrew Sarkis video will be the next individual figure review still. And I'll kind of go in order of brands. So we'll start off with Beast of the Mesozoic. These are the figures I actually got on Christmas Eve. We go to my grandparents' houses for Christmas Eve, so these were the figures I got from them, and I'm so excited. I got two of the Dromaeosaurs and one of the Ceratopsians. I already do own one of the Ceratopsians. I've got the Zuniceratops, and I mentioned I've got that Kickstarter exclusive, or the Walking with Dinosaurs Kickstarter T-Rex on pre-order or whatever. But here's the first one we got. This is the Velociraptor osmolskae. I'm not for sure on the pronunciation of the actual species, but really excited to get this one. This is the less popular, or I think it's I know it's the less popular of the two Velociraptor species. And I got all three of these whenever it was the Black Friday deal, so it was like 10% off plus free shipping, so I got a little bit more bang for my buck. And this is the one, there's three different versions of the osmolskae version. There's this one, there's the Kickstarter exclusive blue one, and then there is the all red one. And I think this is my favorite. This one is the special edition or exclusive, whatever, alpha version, and I really like it. It's got this like reddish brown coat, and it's got the white head with the little blue tips. I think it looks really good. And this was my first Dromaeosaur. It was actually on sale. I think it was like 40%, or not for. It was like whatever it was. It was like $10 off what its original price was. Plus, with the 10% discount, it ended up being a really good price figure. And I can't wait to finally get him out of the box. And then for the other Dromaeosaur I got, there was two that were $30 that were like marked down from their original price. There was the Siegon, and then this one, the Zhenyuanlong. This one actually has a second version. There's the Fan's Choice version, and I actually like this version of it better. I like this purple color a lot with the orange head. I think it looks really, really good. And I can't wait to get this one out of the box too. And one of the reasons why I got this one over the Zhenyuanlong is it's a different style Dromaeosaur. The Siegon and the Velociraptor both are like have that more similar head, and this one almost has like that like the Dromaeosaurus head, like the bulkier head. So I thought it would look a lot better, like because it's different. And then for the final Beast of the Mesozoic figure I got, I'm honestly not sure this one's even going to fit in the frame, but it's the Ceratopsian I got. And like I said, I do have the Zuniceratops, but this one's a little bit bigger than the Zuni. It is the subadult Triceratops. This is one I'm super excited to finally get. And I'm really excited that I got the subadult one, because what I've heard is the subadult one scales really well for a 1/35th scale Triceratops, because we don't have a 1/35th scale Triceratops, but whenever I get that T-Rex, it'll be 1/35th scale, so my T-Rex should scale almost perfectly with this Triceratops. Because I've heard that this Triceratops subs in for either a subadult or a 1/35th scale, because it is 1/18th scale. Oh, and the Dromaeosaurs, if I didn't mention, they're 1/6 scale, so they're a huge scale. But I really love how their Triceratops looks. I honestly think I might prefer the subadult color scheme to the adult, but maybe if I had the adult in hand, I would feel different. But the subadult looks great in hand, and I can't wait to finally get him out of the box as well. So all three of these will get reviewed in the future. But like I said, that Andrew Sarkis video will come first, but these three will definitely get reviewed pretty soon. Well, I hope pretty soon. They will get reviewed in the future, though. I can guarantee that. Next up, we have Schleich. I only got 2 things from Schleich, but it's technically 5 figures, so... First up, we have the Majungasaurus. I actually really like this figure. I really like the color scheme, and I think it's pretty much the color scheme from Dinosaur King, and I think that's honestly why I like it, because I love Dinosaur King. and I just don't have a Majungasaurus in my collection. And I know this one's not perfect. I think the proportions are a little off. I think the arms might be a little too long. We'll talk more about that if I do an individual figure review, though. But I definitely really like this figure, even though I do think it might have a few flaws. Then we got one thing that includes 4 figures, which is the Dinosaur puzzle set. This is the watering hole set. Really like this set. There's 4 different ones of these puzzle sets that come with 4 figures. I own the 2 first ones that came out, and now I only need 1 more. The only one I need left is this one that comes with the Velociraptor, Triceratops, Kentrosaurus, and either Suchomimus or Baryonyx. I think Suchomimus, but I could be wrong. But this one I really love. It comes with this Mosasaurus. This is one we didn't know about the tail fluke, though, or either Schleich didn't put it. I think that was before the tail fluke thing, though. But it comes with that, the Spinosaurus, the Ichthyosaurus, and I think it's Quetzalcoatlus, not Pteranodon, but could be wrong. Yeah, really excited to get this out because I think all 4 of the puzzles combine to make one big puzzle, and I think it looks really cool. Now we have Collecta. Collecta, I think I only got 2 figures from Collecta, but they're 2 of my favorite ones I got. First, we have the big deluxe Styracosaurus. I don't think it scales with their other deluxe figures. I think it's actually bigger than their normal scale, but I love this figure. It's huge. It's got like a little tail fan, which I think looks really good because it's not super noticeable. Like some people won't even notice that it has the tail fan, but I really like it. I think this figure looks great, and I think this is probably my definitive Styracosaurus in the collection. I really wanted to get a Styracosaurus. I was like browsing through Amazon and stuff. The Beast of the Mesozoic one, when I made that order, if it would have been in stock, I probably would have got the Beast of the Mesozoic Styracosaurus over the Triceratops because Styracosaurus is probably my favorite Ceratopsian, but it was sold out at the time. And then I started looking for a Styracosaurus, and I saw the PNSO one, and then I started looking, and then I saw Collecta Styracosaurus was on Amazon, so I knew I wanted to get this one because I don't know if this one's better than the PNSO one, but I think it's probably better for the price for sure. But I love this figure getting in hand. It's huge. It looks great. Yeah, I really love this figure. And next for Collecta, we have a figure that I've always really liked. This one is one I saw a long time ago. Either Jurassic Collectibles or somebody reviewed it a long time ago or showed it off a long time ago. And I really loved it and really wanted to get it. And I just now got to finally getting it. And it is the Collecta Diplodocus. It's too tall to even be seen, but we can send him. Dang, he's still too tall. But yeah, this figure looks awesome. I was kind of worried whenever I saw it was listed, though, because they made a duller version that's like a brownish gray, and I really didn't want to get that one. Not because I think that figure is bad, but just because I prefer this one. I love this green, and I love the little red head, or like the red throat. I think that looks so good. In a lot of my drawings, I do stuff like that, like where I draw like the lizard, like neck appendage things. So I really like that, and I love the color scheme, and it's just so cool seeing sauropod stand up. I think Walking with Dinosaurs did this, and that's why I love it so much, seeing the sauropod stand up. But now this is my second standing sauropod. I recently got that Safari LTD old Apatosaurus, so whenever I review that figure, I'll definitely show that off because, you know, these are 2 Morrison formation. I'm pretty sure Morrison formation, but Jurassic sauropods that I think were capable of standing. I know Brachiosaurus we know now couldn't do it, but I think Apatosaurus and Diplodocus might still be able to, but I know Brachiosaurus couldn't. But yeah, definitely love these 2 figures. These were 2 of my favorites that I got. I really love this figure. Like I said, I really wanted to get this figure for a long time, and to finally have it in hand, it's definitely a great figure. Next up, we have Papo. I have 3 figures from Papo. These were 3 I really liked. So we'll start off with the Ceratopsian. I got 3 of the more popular Ceratopsians, but all 3 from different brands. So I already showed off the Beast of the Mesozoic Triceratops, and then I showed off the Collecta Styracosaurus. But then I got the Papo Pentaceratops. I really love this figure. I'll be honest, when I first saw it online, I didn't think I would like it as much in this pose, but I really actually like it in this pose. But I love that it's got the dual pose capability. At first I thought I would like it more in this pose, but the more I see it, I think I actually prefer it in this pose. Because I know this pose is actually more accurate, or possible, but I thought I would like it in this pose better, but I don't know. I think I really like it in this pose. But either way, it's a great figure, and I really don't have a great Pentaceratops figure. Actually, these minis, the Schleich minis I just showed off, I think the mini Pentaceratops from them is actually the only Pentaceratops, or the only good Pentaceratops I had. So really glad to get this one. I think this is a great figure. So 3 big ceratopsians added to the collection, but like I said, all 3 very different, well, not very different, but all 3 different brands. And then we have a mammal, actually. I know mammals, surprise on the channel, but yeah, we did actually just recently get some mammals, but we got another one today, which I think definitely fits the Christmassy theme, and it is the Papo Megaloceros. This is an animal that I've really liked for a long time, with like watching Walking with Beasts and stuff. I've always known about Megaloceros or the Irish elk, and to finally have a figure of it, it's so awesome. And I think this might be, I think like Geo World Jurassic Hunters or Geo World made one, but I don't think it was near as good as this one. And honestly, that's the only other company that I can really think of for sure that made one. There's probably Bullyland or somebody might have made one, but this is the only one that I can for sure think of that was made. And I really love this one. I think it looks great. And I mean, it should be an easier figure to make because, I mean, it's really, the body isn't much different from like an elk or a deer, but then with these awesome looking antlers, I think it'll look great with my prehistoric mammals because a Megaloceros or Irish elk was definitely one I was lacking in the collection for sure. So definitely glad to finally get a Irish elk for the collection. And I think the Papo made a pretty good one. So definitely excited to add him to the collection. Then we have the last Papo figure. So this was one of the, whenever that Utah Ranus video came out, I was actually in Nashville at the time. So I don't live in Nashville. I live in Kentucky, but we were in Nashville, and there was a toy store there. I can't remember what the toy store was called, but they had Schleich, Papo, and a few safari figures. So whenever we went in there, I was going to buy a figure, and I ended up getting one for Christmas, and it's huge. It's the limited edition Papo Spinosaurus. This was a figure I wanted to get because I was like, I don't want this figure to retire, and I don't end up getting it. I don't know if it's still currently like up to date, because, you know, there was that whole new Spinosaurus paper, and I really haven't done a ton of research on it. Edge posted a video on it, but I haven't watched it yet. It's on like my watch list, but I haven't watched it yet. But there was a whole new paper on Spinosaurus, and I think the sale might be back to the full circle, and it might be more semi-aquatic or more terrestrial, less aquatic, I think is what the paper mainly was going over. But we had a whole new paper on Spinosaurus pretty much, and I honestly don't know if this is still as accurate as it once was, but this figure is awesome. I honestly don't even care if it's as accurate as it once. I mean, I wish it was still as accurate, and I hope it is, but this figure looks awesome. It's huge. I can't wait to get him out of the box and review him, but like I said, it's awesome and huge. And like I said, I just can't wait to get him out of the box. He is massive. It's a huge Spinosaurus. And one thing, it was funny, most of the figures in that store were like regular, like the price online or more. But in there, this figure was actually $45.99. And I thought that was a crazy good deal because in most of the places online, 60 is about the cheapest you can get. And like I said, most of the figures in there were either retail or higher. So can't believe that it was only that much. And for me, for this to be a figure that I've been wanting, to find it for such a good price, I knew I definitely had to get it. Okay, I only got 2 more brands to show off. This next one is one that was highly requested on the channel, so I'm excited to show this one off because I know some people are definitely going to be excited to see the review for this one. And it is, yep, you saw the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. Honestly, whenever I finally do review this figure, I'm going to have to go to a different recording location because this figure is massive. I mean, look, in my normal recording spot, literally all you could see is the legs. I've kind of got it in that movie pose where it's like, you know, the things falling on it, the banner or whatever. Definitely an awesome figure, but it is absolutely huge. But yeah, definitely excited to review this one and definitely glad to finally get in hand. And the only thing that's really a big gripe with it that I've noticed, the glass eyes are something that, I'll say the few gripes that I've heard and what I think. The eyes, I kind of like them, but they are a little funny, the glass looking eyes. And then the mouth, I've heard some people wish that it was like, didn't lock in like only 3 places. And I definitely can see that, but I'm honestly not that, I'm fine with it because I like the 3 like sizes that it locks into. And then the feet are oversized, and I know that I wish they were a little bit smaller, but I know it's 100% for stability, so I'm honestly kind of fine with it. But definitely an awesome figure, And I will say, I think it's probably the best, like, Jurassic Park style T-Rex for the price. I don't think you can get a much better T-Rex for $50 or close to it, being this big, this much movement, and everything. I think it's an awesome figure. Okay, and for last up, this is the last group of figures I got. Actually, I will say, I didn't get any Safari LTD figures. But, you know, it's mainly because most of my Safari figures I either order from, like, eBay that are, like, older figures or Mercari. So I get a lot of Safari figures throughout the year through stuff like that. And then usually I just order my own Safari figures because I've got my promo code, or not my promo code, but I've got, you know, you get points and stuff from Safari. So that's the reason why I didn't get any Safari figures. But they are one of my favorite brands. But for the final brand, we got my first PNSO figures. And I got 5 different figures, so can't wait to show you all of them. So first up, this was the #1 figure on my Christmas list, the PNSO Lambeosaurus. Really wanted this figure. I think it's one of the best priced PNSO figures. That's the only gripe I really have with PNSO, is their figures I think are still a little overpriced, but this one's only around 20, so it's a really good, like, starter figure, I would say. Like, if you want to get a PNSO figure, this is one of the best first ones to get. I think it looks great. And with me, Hadrosaurs have become one of my favorite groups of dinosaurs. I think I'm going to have a whole video devoted to Hadrosaurs. I've hinted at this one a couple times, but I really love this figure. I can't wait to review this one. This one's probably going to be one of the first figures I review pretty soon, because I just love this figure. It looks so awesome. And like I said, I think it's one of the best Hadrosaur figures, I think it's one of the best Hadrosaur figures for sure. One of the best Lambeosaurus figures for sure, but one of the best PNSO figures to start with, because it's such a good price compared to most of the PNSO figures. And then we got, for the other 4, we got one that I at first didn't even have on the list, but then added pretty high once I started thinking about it. And this is one might actually be the even better for the price PNSO figure, and it is the PNSO Ankylosaurus. It's such an awesome figure. Mine almost looks like it's got, like, dust or something. I don't know. I think it's just the really light color scheme on the top, but I love this figure. It's so chunky. I love it. And I think it's the most accurate Ankylosaurus, because I think Safari released one a little bit earlier, and then we got a new paper, and it kind of outdated that one, even though it came out really soon. But this one I think is super up to date. It looks awesome. Definitely my favorite Ankylosaurus in my collection right now. And I don't have a ton of Ankylosaurs or Stegosaurs, really. That whole group, I can't think of what the group is combined, but that group of Ankylosaurs and Stegosaurs, I don't have a ton of figures in that group, so I really wanted to get some around this time. And I didn't get any Stegosaur figures, mainly due to just not adding into the list, but this one, I'm so glad that I added it to the list, like, last minute, but definitely glad to have got it. It's such an awesome figure. Can't wait to review this one. It's so good. And I will say, I looked at the posters for the 3 that I opened so far, and this one has an awesome poster. The Lambeosaurus is just the poster of the figure itself. The other one that I'm about to show had a decent poster, but this one's poster is really cool, because I think it's got, I can't think of what the sauropod is that's in North America and Mexico. If it's Alamosaurus or Ampulosaurus, I think it's Alamosaurus. I'm not for sure, but it's the big titanosaur that lived in the late Cretaceous. I think it's in the background with Ankylosaurus and some Hadrosaur, probably a Montosaurus, maybe not, but it's a really cool poster, I will say. But yeah, I love this Ankylosaurus figure, and it's super chunky, and I think that that's accurate. So I love this figure. And now we've got a figure that I really love, and this is one that I've heard some people either love or hate, and it is the PNSO Tarbosaurus. The box on mine was a little corner damaged, so I was honestly a little worried. But the figure came in pretty good shape. Oh, he can stand on his own for now. Honestly don't even know where you're supposed to put the base on this one. But yeah, I think this figure looks great. I know some people aren't as crazy about it, and I can kind of see why you wouldn't be as crazy about it like some people would. But me personally, I really like it. Like, I still can't figure out the best placement for that base, but whatever. I think this figure looks great, and I think this is like the perfect figure for PNSO to make. because I know they like doing Asian dinosaurs because, you know, they're an Asian company for sure. And I think they did great on this Tarbosaurus. And the fact that they made this Tarbosaurus and this Lambeosaurus, I think they could really do a really good Saurolophus, and I would love to see them do that. I think Saurolophus is in the Namek as well, which I think they would have shared the same formation, Tarbosaurus and Saurolophus. I could be wrong, but I think they did share the same formation. And then we'll go over the 2 other figures I got. These came from Amazon, I think. So, I asked for 2 bundles. So some of these came in bundles. There was a bundle of the 2 Ankylosaurs, so you might be able to guess. One is the Sauropelta. I haven't got this one out of the box yet, but the only thing I've heard I think that these should be flipped. Well, I don't think we 100% know which way it would go, or PNSO just decided to do that. I'm not for sure, but most of the reconstructions I've seen have the bigger spikes on top, is what I know. But I really like that figure, and was definitely glad to get it in that bundle because it was a better price. And then with the Tarbosaurus, we got I can't really say second favorite dinosaur. I'm going to say more tied for favorite dinosaur because that's really what it should be. Allosaurus, the PNSO Allosaurus. I haven't got this one out of the box yet, but can't wait to. I've heard some people not as crazy about the color scheme on this one. And I will say I did see a Walking with Dinosaurs repainted this one, and it looked really good, but I really like the paint on this one. And I know one of the reasons why people aren't crazy about it is because it's really similar to the Carcharodontosaurus, but I actually think that makes me like it more because it's almost where there's like Allosaurus might have became Carcharodontosaurus, or a close relative of Allosaurus could have became Carcharodontosaurus. I actually like it because they would have filled similar niches, both probably hunting larger prey like sauropods and stuff, and both being super similarly related. Like, as far as classification, dinosaurs like Allosaurus became the Carcharodontosaurs, so, you know, I think it makes sense for them to have similar color schemes. But like I did say earlier, I really love Safari, and they might be my favorite brand actually overall, but I didn't get any Safari figures, but don't worry, there will be a lot of Safari figures. In fact, the very next review that's going to be on this channel is the Safari LTD Andrew Sarkis, so definitely a lot of more Safari figures to come. I do want to mention some of the stuff that I did originally have on the list, but I did end up changing. I did originally have the PNSO Therizinosaurus and Dinosaurus, but the reason why I ended up not getting those 2 is because I ended up just completely removing them from the list because, for one, the Dinosaurus is actually like $50. It's one of the more expensive, I think, regular line PNSO figures, or it's that or one of the cheaper museum model line figures, but I definitely think it's a really good figure, and I definitely plan on getting it now. But this was before I didn't have any PNSO figures, so I wanted to get a few just to be like, do I really want to get the Dinosaurus? And yeah, I think I do want to get the Dinosaurus for sure now. And I do really like the Therizinosaurus, and I definitely want to get one of those to pair with this Tarbosaurus. But yeah, overall, I got everything I wanted, and then some, like I said. So I hope you all did as well, and I'd love to know what you all got. And I also got some other stuff other than dinosaur figures, like Pokemon Scarlet. I actually really like the Pokemon franchise. I played all of them pretty much since I started, which was like around Black and White, but the game Black and White. But yeah, that's about how long I've been playing. But definitely, for somebody that likes dinosaurs and stuff, I think Scarlet was definitely the pick. And I actually do like the color purple a lot more than red, but with it being like the more prehistoric game, somebody like me, and I'd say if you're watching this video, probably somebody like you, this was definitely the game for me. But I will say one thing, because I did think about this. After finally getting some PNSO figures, if somebody was to ask me right now, which PNSO figure would you recommend? First, I would say, probably not the best person to ask because I only have 5 right now. But originally, I probably would have said the Lambeosaurus, and I definitely think it's a great figure, and I would definitely recommend it as well. It would probably be second, but I think I would honestly recommend the Ankylosaurus. So, if you haven't got a PNSO figure yet and you want to get one, I think it's a really good starter figure. That or the Lambeosaurus. If you've got a bunch of Ankylosaur figures or vice versa, I doubt the vice versa though, because I don't think many people have Lambeosaurus figures. But if you just prefer the Ankylosaurus figure, those are 2 really good ones to get, because I think they're both better priced PNSO figures that are really good. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And like I said, I hope you all got everything you wanted. And I would love to know what you got. But yeah, thank you all. And I will have an updated collection video right around the end of the year, so you all will get to see all these figures added in the collection, which I honestly don't even know how. I think I'm going to have to get new bookshelves pretty much, because the current shelf is already a little cramped, but with all these figures added, it's going to be a whole nother level of cramped.